Ohio, my squids. Today, we're diving back into the colorful, sprawling world of Splatoon. We're not here to celebrate its success, but to understand why Nintendo's flagship license seems to be losing momentum. Between missing innovations and a divided community, let's take a look at what might have brought Splatoon down. Hang on, it's going to be incredible. Part 1. A runaway success. Flashback to 2015. Nintendo hits hard with Splatoon, a unique multiplayer shooter with cool characters named Inklings, a fresh art style, and gameplay that stands out from other shooters on the market. Success was immediate. Over 4 million copies sold on the Wii U, and a community quickly formed around the game, thanks also to the famous Splatfests. With Splatoon 2 in 2017, Nintendo continues to build on its success, with over 12 million units sold thanks to its arrival on the Switch, and regular updates that continue to create a buzz. Part 2. Splatoon 3. Any signs of running out of steam? But with the arrival of Splatoon 3 in 2022, things are starting to change. Sure, the game is selling pretty well, with nearly 10 million copies sold in its first year. But critics are less enthusiastic. Some people began to ask several questions. Why so little innovation compared to Splatoon 2? Are the new features, such as Return of the Mammifarians, really significant enough to rekindle interest in the license? And above all, why such stagnation in multiplayer modes and online features? Nintendo seems to be struggling to come up with real changes, and this is starting to be felt by gamers. It goes so far as to say that Splatoon 3 is in fact Splatoon 2.5. And that's a real shame, because after a bit of analysis, as a Splatoon member in the community myself, I can assure you that the community was in a frenzy when Nintendo announced Splatoon 3, and it was bombarding my memes about Splatoon 3 with likes. Part 3. Lack of innovation. What's really lacking in Splatoon 3 is the feeling that there's been very little that's new. When you take a closer look, you realize that the basic gameplay has hardly changed since the first opus. Weapons, maps, game modes? Most of them are rehashes or slight modifications of what we've already seen. Also, the Splatfests of today are repeated over and over again. In a market where games are constantly evolving, with titles like Fortnite or Overwatch regularly renewing their content, Splatoon gives the impression of lagging behind. Part 4. The community in division. Another factor in this descent into hell, the community. Splatoon has always had a very close-knit community, with epic Splatfests where everyone could have fun. But with Splatoon 3, that's all changed. Events are considered less interesting, matchmaking is criticized for its imbalances, and even the competitive aspect doesn't manage to gather as many players as before. Promises of updates and post-launch content don't seem to be convincing enough, and this is dividing players more and more. Part 5. Nintendo and license management. But then, why is Splatoon in this situation? Perhaps the answer lies with Nintendo itself. The Japanese firm often has trouble renewing its flagship licenses after a certain amount of success. We've already seen this with Animal Crossing, which, after an explosive popularity with New Horizons during the COVID period, failed to maintain its momentum. Nintendo prefers to play it safe by not taking too many risks with its games. But in the end, this could end up tiring fans. Conclusion. What the future holds. So, is the Splatoon license really in freefall? Quite possibly, but there's always hope. Nintendo has proved in the past that it can turn things around, as it did with the open-world games of The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and its much-appreciated sequel, Tears of the Kingdom, which is, between us, the Switch game with the best graphics today. Everything will depend on the direction the license takes in the coming years. especially with the investment they'll be making in Splatoon 4. I don't even have to tell you how disappointed many of my friends were after completing the Side Order DLC, when in the end, it didn't provide any real answers for the game, like the disappearance of Agent 4, which was the last straw for Splatoon 3. In the meantime, fans are still hoping for a real revival, new game mechanics, and a Splatoon 4 that will this time surprise everyone and get us all on the right wavelength. And what about you, dear squids and octolings? Is the series really in freefall? Or is it just a temporary blip on Nintendo's radar? Let me know in the comments. As usual, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Sayonara, my squids.